these deaths are preventable, because a girl in the school a couple of days ago said very publicly that most of the girls who died in that room would be alive today if certain things had happened.
True.
If that cube was not just a place that was boxed up by wood, if there were fire extinguishers, and if there were windows, that it would have been easier, or those girls would not be dead. That is what she said. She was in the dorm.
True.
And this is coming from a student who you would imagine doesn't have, the where-to-fors about the structure and all of that. But it was clear in her mind.
Very clear.
So you also say that it was preventable.
These are preventable deaths.
So it makes it a little bit more painful that we shouldn't be mourning in this manner, that there's something could have been done.
Yeah.
And I'm going to elongate this just a little bit more, bear with me. That between 1994 and 2016, there have been 5 committees that have been established to find out the reason behind school unrest in the second term.
Yeah.
Every one of these committees, the results mirroring the others, have said some fundamental things. It should be of interest for us to note that none of the recommendations for action from these committees have been established in the country. Does that worry you a little bit?
It is a worry, and as from where you started, just know that these children are also human beings with God-given instinct and knowledge and understanding on how things should be done. And it is always the nature of a person, first, to defend self in terms of fighting back or fleeing. You know that. Yes. So when that girl spoke the way she did, it's something she could see. And so that then brings us down to these things are so basic that you don't even need to go to any manual to know what rightful things should be done. But I'm not saying because we do not have the instruments are there. Even if you had not taken time to go through the instruments of safety in schools, instinctively, there's a way in which one would respond to such situations. But let's go to where you started. And it was 1991, not 94.
91, actually, yes, you are correct.
Yes.
91.
So, because that is, you are talking about St. Kizito.
Yes.
And then all this, we've been losing lives each and every moment. And the moment the task forces were formed, including the Changuli one, is where a bishop was now put in charge and said, probably you guys are just looking at the technical aspects. Can we also bring somebody who would help us even look at the spiritual angle to some of these counseling issues and all? And then what happened, I think I've looked at the Bombolulu report, I've looked at the Shanguli report. I keep reminding somebody when you are doing this analysis that look at the recommendations here and the recommendations here, they are so similar. The differences we are seeing are the name in school. And the year. And then the number of the casualties. And life goes on. And it took Kenya so long for us to have the school safety manual in 2018. But even after 2018, nothing changes. Documents in place, practice as we know it. No wonder it's to them the fallback position is tumezoea kufanya namna hii. And that's why when these girls are dying in rooms that should have been condemned before even being allowed or put in those places, then you must start asking the right question. Who should be accountable for all these missteps, for all these gaps? Because as of now, the codification of what should have been done, the protocols, the rules, the safety standards are there in documented form. That's what the codification I'm talking about. But who enforces this? It is the ministry that should be enforcing. The chief officer in charge is the cabinet secretary, Migos Ogamba. the first media briefing, and after analysis, and after we had sent a team down there, we said this guy should just go home and do other businesses. He's not interested, he's not invested, he's not keen on helping the school environment, because these things, the pattern is repeating itself so similarly, like what just happened under his watch 2 years ago at the Darasha school, Hillside Academy. And you're saying, when it happens like that, repeatedly the same pattern, and nothing serious is even being done, you'll realize that these people are not keen on saving the situation. I'll give you examples here. That structure was accommodating almost more than 100% of its capacity, so congestion. But that structure was also built after these safety standards had been gazetted, and yet they do not comply, they do not meet those standards. You find the grills, for example, on the windows, which should not be there. Those are specified within the safety standards and the protocols, that the doors that should be there at both ends and then in the middle, they should be at least 5 meters wide, but also opening out. None was in that state. In fact, one of them was locked from outside. You start wondering what's happening. That those safety standards would require that the matron, in case of girls, and the patron, in case of the boys, was resident near there, because these are children. That was not happening there. That there should be smoke detectors, these fire extinguishers, all these gadgets which would help the young ones to know how to escape, and that these are students who should have now been more well drilled and socialized, just to know that in case of a fire, in case of anything, how do you escape? We doubt whether those drills have been carried out, because if they had been, at least some better responses would have gone in there. So that begs the question then, is if we are still over-congesting these spaces, which are also poorly constructed against the safety standards, then what are we talking about? There's somebody sleeping here who does not know the right, the actual duty that they should be doing. And that takes me to sections 28 of the Basic Education Act. The responsibility to ensure that our children are in school. One, that they are safe when they are in school, whether day school or boarding. That's why I don't like those who are now trying to mix up things here. Whether day or boarding, that they are in school, that is responsibility number one, that when they are in school, they are safe. And number three, that when they are in school, they are being taught material of quality, so quality education. Those three parameters, those are the first fundamental responsibility of the cabinet secretary in charge of education, Migos Ogamba. Is he doing that?
Hold.